Welcome to the Fabulous Health Cooking Show, where we make awesome whole food, plant-based recipes that are healthy and delicious. I'm Terri Chrisman, your plant-based nutritionist, and I'm on a mission to help as many people as possible avoid disease and live long, happy lives full of vitality. I'm joined by my co-host, Suzie who reversed her ulcerative colitis and lost almost 60 pounds in the process just by switching to a whole food, plant-based diet. Hey, we're live, and Suzie Ann, hello, welcome to the Fabulous Health Cooking Show.
How's it going?
Yeah, it's good to see you again. So what we're doing today is we are doing 10-minute meals. Suzie Ann and I are going to try and cook something awesome in 10 minutes just to prove to you that you do not need lots of time and lots of prep in the kitchen to get healthy meals into your family. So, Suzie Ann, what are you going to cook for us today?
Okay, I'm going to make, I call them tacos, but they're not really a taco. I don't really have a name for it yet. I got corn tortillas, and I'm going to smash up some black beans and put those on the corn tortillas. And then I put a little bit of sauerkraut and a little bit of pico de gallo and maybe some guacamole. And it's literally that simple, and it's so good. I think I posted a picture on the group a couple days ago, and they are so good. So I wanted to show you guys how quick and easy that is. And I'm going to make a tzatziki sauce, and then I'm going to make a pita, like a pita sandwich with some of the beans that I'm making for the tacos, and some spinach and just sliced tomato, and just pour the tzatziki sauce in there and go for it.
Excellent. So I'm going to make two things. I'm going to make some pasta. Actually, that's the second thing I'm making. The first thing I'm going to make is a rice and vegetable dish, which is just so simple. And then the second thing I'm going to make is I'm going to make a pasta dish. So what I think we'll do, and by the way, everybody, because we're live, you can ask questions. So if you have any questions at all and you want to ask them in the chat, please just ask them in the chat, and Suzie and I, as we get to them, we will answer them for you. So the first thing I'm going to make, how about I just tell people what I'm going to make and then you tell people what you're going to make? Does that work for you?
That's fine. I can do the sauce first. Do you want to go first?
Yeah, I'll go first because mine's going to take like 4 seconds.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so I'm going to start the timer. You start doing your stuff, and then you can start explaining it in just a minute. How's that?
Okay.
Okay. So Siri, set a timer for 10 minutes. Hey, Siri, set a timer for 10 minutes. She's doing it now. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this fantastic vegetable and rice dish that I saw on the Well Your World cooking show. And I'm a member of that. I pay money to watch it every single week. So I hope I'm not stealing it from them. But it's such a good thing, is that I really think that you should know how to do it. It's so simple. What I did is I went down to Trader Joe's and I bought this pre-cooked rice. So imagine you've been at work all day and you want to come home and get something to eat, and you just do not want to cook your rice. You don't want to cook your veggies. You don't want to do anything. So the rice has also got in it some red rice, some brown rice, and some black barley. Now, they say that you can cook this in the microwave in the bag, but what we're going to do is go down here and have a look at what I'm doing here, is we're just going to open up the bag. This is how simple cooking is. You're going to throw that in there. Then I'm using some of the Well Your World seasonings. I really like Voodoo. It's awesome. And I also like the Fiesta Fire Blend. I like these seasonings because they are, that's my fingers on my keyboard. They are whole food, plant-based, no sugar, no oil, no salt. And if you want to get some of them, I have put the link in the chat. And you're just going to throw that on top of the rice, whatever flavors you want. Throw that in there. I like mine spicy. Then what we're going to do is we're going to add a bag of veggies, just a bag of veggies. So when you go to the supermarket, you want to look at the ingredients and make sure that there's nothing else in them except for the veggies. So I found this one here. This one's awesome. This is Italian style, and it's got zucchini, carrots, cauliflower, lima beans, green beans, and red peppers. The other one that I really like is this one, which is the one I'm going to use, Fiesta style, which is broccoli, carrots, kidney beans, white beans, garbanzo beans, green beans, and red peppers. And the reason why we're getting this one with the beans in it is because it's going to give you extra protein and those lovely fibers from the beans. So that's them. They're going to go on there like that. And basically, I'm just going to pour boiling water on top like that. And I'm in a steamer here. So that's going to go on the stove for 10 minutes. Done. Okay, Suzie Ann, what you cooking?
Okay, this is a tzatziki sauce. I already put 1 cup of soy milk in my blender, and it calls for, I'm doing a double batch, you guys, so if you want to just cut the amount, I'm putting it in half, that works just the same. So I do 1 cup of soy milk, I do 1 cup of cashews. If you don't have a Vitamix blender,
Suzie, you've frozen, darling. Are you still there?
Oh, there we go. It came back. I don't know what happened.
No, that
so
was
you
weird.
put the cashews in there, and then you take, I do 2 cans of white beans. So I've got Great Northern beans over here, and I'm just going to rinse these real quick. I already put them in my strainer. I'm just going to rinse all the aquafaba out real quick. Okay. And then I'll add these to the blender. Okay. And then it calls for 1/2 cucumber peeled. So I'm doing a double batch, so I'm going to do a whole cucumber. So I'm just going to peel this cucumber real quick here. Where's my peeler?
And honey, why do you have to peel the cucumber? What's the deal there?
I don't know. It just says to peel. It's the recipe that I got. This is actually from Willier World. He recommends to peel it. So,
maybe there's, if anybody has any ideas about why you want to peel your cucumber, let us know, because lots of the nutrients are in the skin, because cucumber is pretty much 90% water. So I guess if you wanted to get some nutrients, it might be nice to keep the skin. But maybe he doesn't want the bitterness in the skin. I'm not sure.
You know, it could be. But you know what? When I peel it, I just kind of do like a mediocre job. I actually do leave some of the, I'll leave some of the stuff on there.
Okay, that's pretty good.
I don't peel it down too bad. And then I'll just cut it in a few little chunks. Throw this in the blender. Whoops. Throw that in there. And it says 1/2 of a lemon, the juice. So I'm doing about a whole lemon. So I'm going to use, it's about 1/4 of a cup when you squeeze a whole lemon. So I'm going to put 1/4 cup of lemon juice in here.
Now you see that Suzie Ann's using the lemon juice out of a bottle. That's completely fine. No, it's not cheating. It's absolutely fine. You don't have to buy everything fresh. You can buy it frozen. You can buy it in a bottle. You can buy it in a can, providing, of course, it doesn't have all those excess things in it, like your sugar, oil, and your salt. There's nothing wrong with having squeezed lemon juice from a bottle.
And when I've been working hard all day. I just literally came in like 45 minutes before we're doing this, and I want to make things quick and easy anyhow. So then it calls for 1 or 2 cloves of garlic, and this is such a huge clove of garlic that I'm just going to use this one. And I'll just toss this in the blender. Ooh, it's got a bad spot in there. Let me cut that off. Throw that in there. And then fresh dill, which you don't add until the end, which I'm using dry dill because I don't always keep fresh dill in my refrigerator. So for tonight, I'm using dry dill. So I'm just going to go ahead and blend this for a minute here.
Okay, I had to mute you, Suzie Ann. You're so loud. So while Suzie Ann is blending up that lovely tzatziki, I just wanted to show you just a few more things. I found this in the supermarket too. This is from Tom Thumb, and you can put this in anything. If you've got kids and you're trying to get them to eat more veggies, you can put this in their spaghetti sauce or in their soup or whatever. Don't be scared of things like this as long as they are SOS free. Hey, I noticed that there's a bunch of people watching. So if you have any questions at all, please ask the questions.
Okay.
I actually feed these veggies to my dogs, so they love them.
Now I'm going to put the dry dill in now last, and I don't blend it as long because you don't want to totally cremate it. I'm going to use
because then it turns green, doesn't it?
Right. And I'm just going to use like 3/4 of a tablespoon. I love a lot of dill in here. And I'm just going to blend it for a little bit more.
Okay, I'm going to mute you again because that that blender is really, really that blender's really, really noisy. So I wonder, Suzie Ann, if I should start. I wonder if I should start my second one because really that was my whole recipe: a bag of rice, a bag of veggies, some spices in a steamer, and it's just over there on the stove, just doing its thing. So that's a really, really easy recipe. So while Suzie Ann's, oh, you want to talk, darling?
That's so good.
Is it?
Perfect.
Is it done?
Perfect. The tzatziki sauce is done.
That is awesome. See how quick that is?
So that's all there is
Siri,
to that.
how many minutes do we have left on our timer?
There are no timers set.
Oh.
She never did it. I know that wasn't no 10 minutes though, I don't think.
Oh, okay. So this 10-minute thing's not
okay,
really
I'm
working.
gonna set. I'm gonna tell my Siri to set the timer for 10 minutes, and then I'll start my taco thing.
Perfect.
Like a
Okay, that's
tostada,
good.
kind of soft tostada. Hey Siri,
Okay.
set my timer for 10 minutes.
How much dill? That was 1 tablespoon of dill, but I think the recipe was 2 tablespoons of fresh dill, wasn't it?
2 tablespoons of fresh dill. So if you're using fresh dill and you're halving it, you're only going to want to use 1 tablespoon.
Yeah, that's true.
I always double because I love this sauce and we go through it like crazy here. Okay, so now I'm going to do my tacos. I'm just going to dump. This is 2 cans of black beans, rinsed and drained, and I'm just going to put them in my little saucepan. And I'm going to put a little bit of soy milk in here to give it some smashability. So it kind of, I don't want it to be like refried beans. I want it to be just kind of chunked up, not really refried beans, but not whole beans either. We just want to break them up so that when you smash them down on the taco, they don't like roll off. You know, we just want to make it work.
Did you know that there's a soybean shortage in Trader Joe's?
I did not know that.
I mean, not a soybean milk shortage in Trader Joe's. And so I have instead gone and bought the soy milk powder from Now Foods, from iherb.com. And, oh, here we go. Turn off. All right. Siri, she's been weird. So she seems to be putting my timer on my computer, but not on my watch. Crazy lady.
We have 8
so
minutes
I've got the
and
soy
35
milk
seconds.
powder. Yeah, I got the soy milk powder from Now Foods, which is good. So you're just mushing up those beans, the black beans. What with some soy milk, and what else is
just
happening?
A little bit of soy milk. And then the next step, which do this at your own risk, people. I don't know how you guys want to heat up your tortillas, but when I heat up my corn tortillas, I literally just throw them on the burner. I turn my burner on low. And I take my corn tortillas and I just set them on my burner like that.
There you go.
There we go. I know I have to kind of, this is live. And then I just turn it over every, 10 seconds or so until they either start to bubble up or get a little bit of brown spots on them.
Yep.
And it's literally that simple. I'm going to grab another one out of here. I'm going to make it for my husband who's waiting waiting in the wings.
Do you know what I do? I wet them so that they're soft wet, and then I put them in a cast iron skillet, and then put them wet in a cast iron skillet and put a lid on. And what happens is the water steams up and they don't get crispy, they get nice and pliable. Because the problem with whole corn tortillas is that they break apart. So if they get too cooked. Okay, so while you're doing that, I'm going to start my sauce.
I'm going
So
to heat
this
these
is an
beans up a little bit.
awesome sauce that I discovered from Bosch TV, which is in UK. And so, Susie, I'm just gonna mute you for a minute, honey. She's so loud. Okay, I'm going to start off with a can of fire roasted tomatoes. I really like these ones from Muir Glen. There's no added salt, and the other thing is that they have a non-BPA lining, and you can see that on the back as well. And that's really important because bisphenol A is really toxic. You don't want it. So it goes in the blender like so. The next thing I'm going to add is a whole jar of roasted bell peppers. Normally I buy the big ones. These seem to be itty bitty little ones, but they're all going in, the whole thing. Oh, there they go, the whole jar of those. Make sure you get the ones that don't have any oil in them. And then we're going to go for, now I'm going to use hazelnuts. I got these at Sprouts and they're already, no, I'll take that back. I got these at Trader Joe's. They're already roasted but salt-free. You could also use sunflower seeds. These are also roasted and salt-free, or you could use blanched almond flour. So it's up to you. But I made it the first time and I didn't have any almond flour. So I used the hazelnuts and it was awesome. So I'm going to use hazelnuts. So I'm going to go for half a cup of hazelnuts in the blender like that. And then we're going to do some nutritional yeast. Actually, you know what? Let's just, down there. There we go. You don't need to see my face. Nutritional yeast. And how much of that am I going to put in? I don't know. You know, I'm just going to, let's just do this. No, let's not. Let's go over here. Well, Your World makes a nutritional yeast too. It's really nice. This is just a container of Bragg's that I just keep refilling. Did you see my baby dog go behind me just then? 1/3 of a cup. In it goes. Chili, yes, love it. Always put chili in. I'm going to put chili flakes in. Did you know that sriracha is full of sugar? It's hideous. Hang on, Susie, I'll bring you back on. Did you know that sriracha is full of sugar, my darling?
Yes.
It is. Yes. So Well Your World makes a sugar-free version of sriracha, or you can buy the chili sauce from the same Californian company, and that doesn't have any sugar in it as well. So the other thing we need is garlic, and I left it in the fridge, so I'm going to put the camera on you, my darling.
Okay. Well, this is pretty ready. So now I'm just going to take some of these beans. I've warmed them up, and see, they're just kind of smashed, kind of like that. And then I'm going to put some beans on each one of these tortillas. I'm going to spread it out. Just a little bit here. My husband came up with this recipe, you guys. This thing that I'm doing right now, my husband came up with it the other day, and I'm hooked. I've been having these every day for about the last 2 or 3 days in a row for lunch because I'm so hooked on this flavor combination. It's just so amazing.
So we got tortillas. We got tortillas, and we got the black beans. Yep. Now what?
And then it's super easy. Then you just put a little bit of sauerkraut on top of the black beans.
Sauerkraut. So good for your tummy, good for your gut bacteria. There's lots of prebiotics in the and probiotics in the sauerkraut.
Can you see okay, or is it not?
Yeah, I'll make you bigger. Hang on. There you go. Yep. Yeah, get rid of your pan. There you go. Good girl.
How's that?
Yeah, that's awesome.
Okay. So then I just put a little bit of sauerkraut on top.
Yeah. But you know what I did here the other day is don't buy the sauerkraut in the can. You've got to buy the raw stuff in the fridge because otherwise it doesn't have any probiotics in it.
Right.
It's just.
And this is made the old-fashioned way with just, they don't use like the vinegars to make. This is made the old-fashioned way. It's so yummy.
And where'd you get your sauerkraut?
Costco.
Costco.
Get it at Costco.
Yeah, there's some great
Costco is really cool because I'm finding that Costco has a ton of organic products there. The one I go to, at least, they have so much organic produce and packaged food. If you're just into organic food, okay, so that's that. And then top it with a little bit of pico. Super, super easy. And that's it.
Let's have a look. That looks awesome. That's got to be less than 10 minutes. So
Oh, yeah.
homemade refried beans.
Pardon me?
Homemade refried beans, sauerkraut, and pico on a corn tortilla.
Yeah.
And what about
And if you
that
want to throw
sauce?
some
You putting that
guacamole
fan-
on top.
Are you putting
Oh,
that
you can
fantastic
put the tzatziki sauce on there too, or you can put guacamole on top. Honey, you want guacamole? He doesn't care. He's like, I don't care, whatever. But anyway, I'll just give it to him like this. But this is it. That's his dinner.
Awesome.
And I had almost 2 minutes left, so that was an 8-minute throwing it all together meal.
So I'm going to go back to this. I've put everything in here, and I'm just going to blend it over here, and I will turn that'll go back there. Hopefully it's not too loud for you. And I'm going to go and get my dinner that I made just a minute ago. I'm going to go and get that off the stove. Is that too loud, Suzie Ann, that noise over there? Probably.
No, actually, it's not too bad.
So here it is. I'm just going to put me on big. Hang on.
I'm going to go serve
There we go. So this is what we made. And it's basically just your rice and your beans and your veggies together with your spices. And it only took a few minutes. And then all you need to do is serve it up. That's very loud. Serve it up like so. And then what I would do with this, I'll just get that out of the way.
There's my timer.
What I would do with this is I would put on some guacamole. Now this, I got to tell you about this guacamole. Actually, this is not guacamole. This is just avocado. This comes from Costco, and it's about a half an avocado, and it's in a little plastic dude, and you can freeze it.
Yep. Well,
yeah,
you can freeze it. I think it's called holy guacamole, isn't it?
I don't know.
From Costco? I think it's holy guacamole.
All you need to do is just scoop it out, because I never use a whole avocado. I'm lucky to use a half an avocado. And you know what else I forgot, Suzie? Because I'm happy. I forgot this. The salsa. And then you put your salsa on top. And that, my darlings, is an awesome sauce meal. Hang on, let me just do this. Look at that. That is delicious. And it was so easy to do. So you didn't have to prepare anything. All you had to do was throw 2 things in a steamer basket, talk to your friend for 10 minutes, and then you've got insto dinners. So let me get back to my sauce. Again, this sauce, it went straight into the blender. Just clean that. Let me taste it. It's absolutely delightful. So what I'm going to do with this sauce is I'm going to use this pasta. Now, you don't need to use this brand of pasta, but this one is only one ingredient, and that is red lentils. And they've basically cooked the red lentils and then squashed them into these little twirly things. And so what I will do is I will put the pasta in the boiling water over there, and then cook it for 6 or 7 minutes. And then when it's about almost done, I'm going to throw some broccoli in. Now, the reason I throw the broccoli in is because the broccoli is absolutely awesome and delicious. And it just gives your dinner a little bit of extra crunch, so to speak. Not crunch, but just more texture. We have a question for you, my darling. The tzatziki sauce, would that be good on vegetables? Yeah, hello.
Yes.
Oh
this
my
tzatziki
God,
sauce,
yes.
I use it for salad dressing. I put it over my vegetables. I put it over sweet potatoes or regular potatoes. Literally, I put this over everything. I mean, whatever you make, you can put it on there. It's not a super strong flavor sauce. It's got a cucumbery, you know, because you put the cucumber in there.
Now you used cashews in there, didn't you, honey?
Yes.
So if people are worried about the fat content of the cashews, or because remember last week we did the interview with Dustin Harder about people with allergies and universal meals and staying away from nuts. The new thing for the creaminess of sauces, if you don't want to use nuts, is white beans. Mm-hmm. So that's navy beans, or sometimes they're just called white beans. You can get them in the can, or you can cook them yourself. In fact, look, there's one right now that was in my veggies. And they do really, really well in these creamy type sauces. If you're going to use them from a can, always rinse them out first.
Yeah. Especially if they have salt in there. You want to rinse all that out.
Absolutely.
Now, my last thing that I'm going to throw together, it's like 2 seconds. Take this pita bread. I rip the top off. I slam some beans in here. Because I had those tacos for lunch, so I don't want to have those again. I just put some of the beans inside this little taco shell. Flatten them down in there. And then let me slice up a tomato real quick. This is my actual dinner tonight, you guys. And I'll throw some tomato slices in here. Super, super easy. Okay, and then I'll take some fresh spinach and shove it in here. It's probably going to fall apart on me, and I'm going to end up eating it with a knife and a fork, but that's okay. Flavor tastes the same. Shove that in there like that. And then I just pour the tzatziki sauce right inside here, but it's still in this big old thing. Oh, I could put some guacamole in this. Let me do that. Oh, and what I do for guacamole, you guys, is I buy a bunch of avocados, and I have one of those machines that sucks all the air out. I forget what they're called, but it's like vacuum
air
seals.
sucky machine. It's an air sucky machine.
I call it a suck and seal.
It probably
but
is
I make a huge batch of guacamole, and all I do is I put guacamole, onion powder, garlic powder. It's that simple. Make a huge batch, and I'll make like 10 or 15 of these little bags, and I freeze them, and then you just literally it thaws out in 2 seconds in hot water, and then you just cut the top off if you have sharp scissors, and then you just can squeeze it out. Right. I don't know how I'm gonna do this without.
You can do it. I have faith in you.
Okay, we'll get it in there. There it goes.
So the other thing I want to tell people is you can add edamame, or guess what? This is called makimami when it's got no shell. Isn't that awesome? So you can get makimami or edamame like this, or green peas, and do equal parts avocado to the makimami or the green peas. And then what you do is you improve your protein content, your fiber content, and you decrease your fat. So that's a really good way of getting guacamole into your body if you don't want to have so much fat. What are you doing there, Suzie? Any dying?
My pita has exploded. I'm going to have to eat it with a knife and a fork, but that is what it looks like. If you
Yum.
So you've got protein, you've got a little bit of carbs from your shell, you've got your greens in there, some tomato, and a little bit of guacamole. And that tzatziki sauce, you guys, you'll love it.
That is awesome. Oh, hang on, something's going on over here. So while my pasta boils over there, what I do is I cut up my broccoli and I stick it in these mason jars and have it in the fridge, so that when I want some broccoli, it's really, really easy. So all I have to do is go over here to the stove and throw this broccoli in the pasta water. So in it goes, and then we put the lid somewhat on. I might actually get some more boiling water because I don't think I've got enough there. And then you're going to cook. I know you can't see me, but I'm still talking. You're going to cook that broccoli inside the pasta water. There you go. And you're only going to do that for 2 or 3 minutes because you don't want your broccoli to be soft and soggy and squishy. So while I'm waiting for that pasta to cook, and in fact, I should have probably put that water on before so that it would be ready instead of us waiting. Tick, 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 tick.
That's okay. I can show you guys something.
Yeah, cool. I was going to ask if anybody had any questions.
Yeah, if anybody's interested, I make homemade sauerkraut too. If anybody's interested in learn how to make it, this is the old-fashioned way. All it is sauerkraut and salt and a little bit of garlic powder. That's it.
Right.
That's how you make sauerkraut.
So you mean cabbage and salt and garlic powder? That's awesome.
What did
and
I say?
Do you put water or vinegar?
Nothing.
Nothing. You just let it ferment by itself.
You got to work it in. I mean, if you want to do a video on it, we can do a video on it, and I can show everybody how to make it because it's super, super easy and super good. Probiotics full, and
yes, we've got people saying yes, they'd love to.
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
Awesome.
So we will do that
on our next one.
And I do want to tell everybody that Suzie and I have been talking about what we can do on the show. And so if you have any ideas about what you would like to learn how to do, then just send me a DM, because once this chat goes, I probably won't be able to find it. Send me a DM and we'll think about whether, that's going to be making a good show. Somebody did ask, and apologies because I can't see your name because of the software that we're using. We don't see your name unless you allow yourself to be seen through the software streaming service.
Are you looking at comments on Facebook or?
No, on my computer, darling.
Oh, okay.
But what do I put in the broccoli? Nothing. I put nothing in the broccoli. And in fact, I will go over to my fridge and, hang on a minute, everybody. Sorry, I've got a disaster happening. Sorry.
That's live.
Yeah, sorry. My fire went out and I could smell the gas. Yeah, not so great, shall we? Let me just go to my fridge and I want to show you what I do.
I mean, we want to go out with a bang, but not a literal bang, right?
Yeah, exactly. So when I go to the supermarket, when I come home, I get jars and I chop up all my stuff. I've got mushrooms in here and I've got onions in here and I've got pumpkin in here and the broccoli, as you saw. And what I do is I just put them all in the fridge so that when I want to make something, dinner is ready in a jiffy, because all I have to do is shake it out into the pan with, my herbs and spices, my grains, my beans, etc. And then dinner is ready in like 10 minutes. As you know, that's what this is all about. It's all about having dinner ready in 10 minutes. Suzie, it's all yours. I'm going over there to the
I'm done. I mean, I'm pretty much done. Unless anybody has any questions or anything, because I don't know what else I can do or show anybody. I can look on my phone and see if anybody has any questions.
Okay.
But yeah, this is like literally the best part about this diet is people get so scared. What am I going to eat? What am I going to eat? And there's plenty of recipes out there that are so full of flavor, especially like my husband just did this taco thing the other day. And he even said to me, he says, honey, don't condemn me, because he wasn't sure how it was going to taste. And so with the sauerkraut and the pico together and everything. And so he just put it on there and I took a bite of it and I was like, immediately hooked, and I've been eating it every day for lunch for the last 3 days.
That is
little
awesome.
taco things with the sauerkraut and pico. It's just so good. The flavor is like bang in your mouth. So good.
Okay, here's my spaghetti, or squiggles, and my sauce. And what you could do is you could actually put the sauce in the pan and just heat it up a little bit. But because I just pulled out half of it, just to show you, I didn't do that, but you just do this, and this is really boiling hot, so that's going to heat that sauce up in 1 second anyway. And then that is just it. That is just perfect. So I've got another question. How long does the fresh stay good after prepped, unsealed in jars for refrigerating?
They're talking about the tzatziki sauce. I keep the tzatziki sauce in my refrigerator for 5 days, 5 or 6. I usually don't keep it any longer than 6 days. But we go through it so fast, it usually doesn't make it that long.
Yeah.
Because I literally put on everything.
Do you mean sealed jars? I just don't think you would put anything in unsealed jars. That doesn't make sense to me. If you put the lid on, this will last, a week, week and a half. This is a fungus, so maybe not as long as the onions, but absolutely it'll last a week in your fridge. And if you haven't eaten the chopped veggies in your fridge after they've been there a week, you are not eating whole food plant-based, because you will go through these in a week.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, granted, if you've got 20 jars, hopefully you've got other people in your house eating them, because you probably can't get through it that quickly.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, I'm really sorry. Whoever's writing these comments, I don't actually understand them. I can, like you can things for the pantry. I get it. I thought, I get it now. Not you can. Okay, yes, the fresh veg in the fridge. Do it, absolutely, because they're just going to go off if they're in a plastic bag in the fridge. They actually last a lot longer if they're in these canning jars in the fridge. And you do it for your berries as well. If you put your blueberries, blackberries, strawberries in unwashed, that's very, very important. Unwashed berries in the jars, and then when you want them, you wash them before you eat them. But with the broccoli, I wash the broccoli first with the veggie wash, and then I put it in the fridge, because it's not going to go moldy. But the berries, you get them wet, that's the end of them. They're not going to
right.
Okie dokie, look at us, 7:37. We got 4 dinners ready in less than 40 minutes. And so really just showing you that there's really no reason why you can't just throw something together, and that not to be scared of things like frozen vegetables, pre-cooked rice, as long as you look at the ingredients and they don't have added oils, sugar and salt on them. And when I went to the supermarket and I found all these bags of veggies, there was a million of them that had added sauce. Yeah, like added cheese, added sauce, added oil. You must look at the ingredients list.
Yep.
And if it has any of that, it's gone.
Yep.
Yeah, indeed. All right, lovelies. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Look, if you're watching the replay and you have a question, please put hashtag replay and then ask your question, and Suzie Ann and I will get back to you. I hope you have enjoyed this. Oh,
one other idea.
What's that?
If anybody has any ideas for regular meals that they would like to make whole food plant based, like if you have like a lasagna recipe, or if you have a certain thing you want to tweak it to make it whole food plant based, let us know, and we can put our little brains to work and see how we can work it by like omitting oils or omitting meat and substituting and whatever. We'll figure stuff out. That would be kind of a neat thing, I think.
Yeah, that's a great idea, actually. And Suzie and I will probably do a session where we show you how to swap things. So maybe not a whole recipe, but like, what if, like, for example, just this afternoon, I got home and I wanted cake. So I made this. That's apples on top. And what I did is I got this awesome book. I looked in it and said, what do they have? They've got like a banana cake recipe there. And I used the recipe as a guide. And then I just swapped it out. And instead of putting tons of banana, I mean, there are bananas in it, but I put lots of apples in it, and I put apples on top. And because I wanted a pumpkin spicy type of appley fall cake, which is ridiculous because it was 100 degrees today in Texas. It's so hot. So you can do things, and that took me about 10 minutes to put together. And then, yes, it took 40 minutes in the oven, but the little tiny weenie oven, so it didn't heat my house up. and then it was done. And now I can have cake for the next, I don't know, 2 weeks or something. I'll put that in the freezer, slice it all up, and then anytime I want to slice a cake, I can have some cake and I won't feel bad about it.
Batch cooking is something else we can show. Like you can make a huge pan of lasagna and have dinners for 5 or 6 nights,
Yeah, absolutely.
So it might take a long time to make the lasagna, but that's just a one and
once
done.
It's done, it's done.
Right.
Exactly. All right. Well, thank you everybody for watching. We really appreciate you coming and sharing your time with us. And, we really want to encourage you to eat a lot more veggies and get whole food, plant-based as much as you humanly possibly can so that you can live long, happy lives and age like us with grace and vitality. See you later, everybody.
Bye.